Today, we look at the transformation of commodity money in the form of precious metal coins to pure token coins and paper money. Tokens and paper money, first invented by the Chinese, is a form of credit money. The credit theory of money states that money is credit. However, not all credit is money. Only a special type of transferable credit, that is a general medium of exchange and a method of payments and discharging obligations, be it private debt or public debt, such as taxes to the government, can be money. The credit theory of money, in other words, suggests that money does not have to be made out of intrinsically useful material. We can see this from the history of the English silver pound. Charles the Great, who lived from 742 to 814 AD, established the libra, pondus, as an accounting unit equal to 1 pound of silver in England. Pondus means weight. Libra means level, balance, and a pair of scales. Pound is thus a specific standard of weight of pure silver on a pair of scales. The modern currency symbol represents the letter L that stands for Libra. Charles declared initially that 240 pence equal 1 troy pound of silver, and that 1 pence or penny equals 1.3 to 1.5 grams of pure silver. Over time, however, the standard metal content was continuously reduced from 100% in the 800s to 60% in the 1400s, down to 30% in the 1500s, all the way down to 0 in the 1900s. Today's pound coin does not have any silver. It consists mostly of copper and nickel plus some zinc. This transition from full-bodied, meaning pure metal coins, to impure or base coins with no or little intrinsic value occurred for several reasons. First, the fee, tax, or cost it took for the mint to transform the raw metal into metal coin is called seigniorage, which is a great source of tax revenue for the state. It is easier for the government to tax people by inflation and debasement of coins rather than direct taxes such as income, capital gain tax, VAT, property, or inheritance taxes. Second, the coin's metal content became debased not just by the state, but also by private actors via counterfeiting. This occurred by melting metals and reminting them with lesser metals, or clipping the sides of a coin, or inserting a hole in the coin and then hitting it and striking it, and so-called sweating coins, where you put coins in a bag and shake them to collect the metal dust that accumulates at the bottom of the bag. To avoid such counterfeiting and debasements is one reason why coins today still have imprints on the face and sides, although counterfeiting today is not worth anyone's while because they are token coins. These coins, as I just mentioned, including today's, are made out of material whose intrinsic value is much less than the coin's face value. That is the number on the coin. And these are called token coins. In contrast to full-bodied metal coins, whose value is derived from the intrinsic metal content, these token coins are representative money. Their value derives from the promise of the coin issuer to be converted into the commodity it represents. This emergence of credit money and the abstraction of individual money objects from commodities is taken one big step further by the Chinese invention of paper money. The Chinese invented paper money in 2 steps. First, in the Tang Dynasty in the 7th century, China invented so-called flying money, fei qian. A trader or merchant going about on business travel can, instead of carrying heavy coins, give these coins to a money house. The house, in turn, issues a piece of paper representing the coins to the depositor. The money house's different branches in another location can hand out coins of equal value to the original owner of the coins, whose name is written on that piece of paper. Flying money emerged so that traders did not have to carry these heavy copper coins with them or be subject to robberies. However, flying money is actually not money proper. These promissory notes, promissory from promise, were non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. You cannot transfer or interchange my flying NFT with your flying NFT because they were only redeemable by the specific person who deposited the coins at the money house. Flying money, therefore, was not a general medium of exchange, only a medium for one singular atomistic exchange. After the exchange was completed, flying money, if you wish, stopped flying. The second step China took in the Song dynasty towards proper money was the jiaozi. Initially, these jiaozi were an initiative by a merchant company wanting to replace heavy iron coins with promissory notes. This was a market initiative and a private financial innovation, but it did not function well without state support or government regulation. This privately issued jiaozi system was adopted by the state in two stages. First, the state gave the monopoly right to issue certificate of deposits to 16 deposit shops. In 1023, the Chengdu government took control of this emergent banking system in a second step, which marked the beginning of the state monopoly over issuance of paper money. These jiaozi became proper money for three reasons. First, they were transferable between peoples and started to be used as a general medium of exchange, as well as they were able to be used as long-term stores of value once the notes' expiry dates were removed in 1240. Second, they were a form of representative money because they were freely convertible or redeemable into commodities such as specie metal coins, benxian or beijin, typically bronze coins or raw silver, which backed 30% of the money supply in China at the time. They could also be exchanged for liquor and sold at government-operated stores. This also supported the general acceptance of these paper notes, which were made out of material that had zero intrinsic value but had exchange value. Third and finally, the circulation of these notes was first restricted to Sichuan province only, and the southern Song dynasty had 4 currency regions, each with their own paper monies and bronze and iron coins. However, later, with the development of the so-called Huizi notes, meant that a national unified currency, a generally accepted medium of exchange and store of value, was emerging throughout most of China. When Marco Polo visited China, he was startled by this Chinese invention of paper money. He actually dedicated a chapter to it in his book called How the Great Qian Causeth the Bark of Trees Made into Something Like Paper to Pass for Money All Over His Country. And here I quote, "All these pieces of paper are issued with as much solemnity and authority as if they were of pure gold and silver. With these pieces of paper, he makes them pass current universally, wherever his power and sovereignty extends. And indeed, everybody takes them readily and shall be able to transact all sales and purchases of goods by means of them, just as well as if they were coins of pure gold." Unquote. In this class, we traced the abstraction of money from commodity to credit. This is the first step in removing the link of money to commodities by making the money object, that is, a pound or a dollar, not out of any intrinsically valuable material. However, money still has an anchor to the commodity material to the extent that it can be converted and redeemed into the underlying commodity it represents. Besides a pound or a dollar, an individual money object, we will see that we can also make the general universal unit of the pound or the dollar have no link to a commodity whatsoever. We look at this second step in our next class.